In this video, I'm going to show you how to diagnose a rotor problem and then replace it. First, you remove the screws that hold the top cover on. After taking the screws out, remove the top and the back cover. The problem with this heater was when I plug it in, I can hear the fan start up and then shut off after about 15 seconds. Then I would unplug it and plug it back in again and have the same thing happen. After I removed the cover, I was able to see if the glow plug was operating correctly. When I plugged it in, I could see the glow plug was glowing. If the heat sensor doesn't sense heat or flame, it'll shut the unit down so it doesn't burn out the plug. What this problem tells me is either 1, the nozzle is plugged up, or 2, the air rotor in the air pump is not working properly. An easy way to check this would be to remove the air hose from the back of the pump. Then plug the unit back in and run compressed air through the air hose. Lower the pressure on the compressor to about 3 to 5 pounds. Too much pressure will also cause the machine not to run and push out too much fuel. After plugging in the heater, force compressed air into the air line. If the heater fires up, the most probable cause is the air pump. In this segment, you can see what happens after pushing too much air into the line. Just to make sure it wasn't a clogged fuel nozzle, I hooked the hose back up and plugged the heater in to see if it runs. If the heater fires up, then it was a clogged fuel nozzle. If it doesn't, then we need to go to the air pump. It didn't fire up, so now I know it's the air pump. Make sure it's unplugged. Remove these 3 screws. You can remove the air cleaner as well, the air filter. And now you have to remove these 5 screws. Okay, now you can remove the back plate. Oh, I missed one. There's another screw right here. After removing the manifold, you can see there's a little bit of dirt gummed up on the back. What's happening here with this rotor, and you can easily clean this. I have a video where I show how to clean this. But these blades are supposed to come down and pump air. They're not dropping, so everything's gummed up. So that's how it's supposed to be, right there. When that blade comes down, it pumps air. So we're going to replace the rotor. Next, I'm going to take these 2 screws out. Okay. Usually I'm going to take this off. I'm going to clean this edge, make sure it doesn't have anything on it. See, it's kind of a little bit dirty. It's got like powder from the little blades. And all you have to do is just take this off. Okay. And you can see the blades are kind of stuck in there. And this is all from having dirty air filter, just stuff getting in there. So we're going to take that out and clean that, and then put the new rotor on. This is the part I bought off Amazon, and I'll leave a link in the description below. It's about $17. The part number for this Remington 40,000 BTU heater is PP204 half-inch rotor kit. Once you get the part, you'll want to make sure it matches the existing one. As you can see, it's the same thickness and diameter. With the hole, the indentation or recess is going to go towards the motor. But we're going to clean this out before we put the new one on. And then it's got all the blades inside. I'm going to leave them in the box so they don't get wet. You want everything to stay dry, because if anything's wet in here, this will start to gum up, and then you'll be back in the same with the same problem that the blades aren't going to work. They're not going to come down and drop. So I've got brake clean. You get it at the auto store or Menards. Spray some on there. And make sure any grease, there's no dirt. Then I'm going to blow this out. The brake clean will dry, but if there's grease or oil in there, that's going to stay wet. Now I'll clean the back cover or manifold. Again, you want to make sure everything's dry before you put it back together. You want to make sure you clean the pump body as well. I want to make sure this is clean. You may want to use gloves when working with the parts cleaner. We're going to blow that out too. Now you want to be careful. You don't want to lose this other little air filter, like I almost just did. And it goes in this little slot here. Now we can put it back together. This flat side goes to the motor. Now I took this apart with an impact gun. I don't recommend putting it back together with an impact gun. You don't want to strip anything. So we're going to put this back on here. Now I'm going to try and hold everything center on here and just snug it up for now. So I want to make sure when I put the rotor on, it doesn't rub on anything in here. The only thing you want to rub on here are the rotor blades. And you should have just a little bit of clearance at the top. So again, we're going to put the recessed part towards the motor. Okay, you can see we have plenty of space there. I'm going to tighten this space up just a little bit. Loosen these up a little. See, there, I let it drop, and we don't want it rubbing. That's not good. So you want to just lift that back up just a hair. Okay, and before you tighten all the way, make sure it doesn't rub. There. That's good. Now we can tighten it back up. Double check. Now we can put the rotor blades in. And you can see them now. They're both rounded off on each end, so it doesn't matter which way you put them in. Now how this works is centrifugal force pushes the blades down, and you can see as we're turning how they are easily dropping right now. That's what you want. Now, I could sand these down. And you can see this one's worn. They don't quite fit as loosely anymore. And the key is to make sure everything is dry in here. And you can hear them clicking. So as I turn them, you see they're dropping. That's the way they should work. Okay, now I'm going to put this piece back on. The air nozzle is pointing down. For some reason this was a different screw. So I'm going to put that one back where it was. I don't know why. And again, you don't want to put any lube. Make sure everything's dry. Okay. If you listen closely, you don't hear it too much now. You'll hear it when I start up. You'll hear the clicking of the blades. Almost sounds like a playing card on a spoke on a bicycle. Now I'm going to take this apart very carefully. I don't want to break it. I didn't order a new one. And I'm not going to clean this with brake clean, but I'm going to clean this out. I'm going to put this back on. Okay. Now I'm going to brake clean these little filters. We'll put it back in here. Okay. Then we'll put this one back on. Like that. Okay. I'm going to clean this one out as well. Okay, we're going to hook up the air hose. And we are ready to try it. Should work. I've never touched the air pressure settings, so I'm not going to check them. I don't feel the need to, as long as everything is running correctly. Put it with their tabs down. There are two tabs here, and there's a tab, an opening for a tab here on the two ends. I want those facing down because the lid doesn't have the knockout for it. That's how you know it goes in this way. Clip it back on. Make sure those are in place. Go. Now these screws, I'll put them back on. I don't care if I use the impact. The reason I don't like using the impact on the other ones, they're aluminum. Now we'll just double check. I hope this video helped. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up. Click the bell icon to get notified whenever I post a new video. Also, visit me on Facebook. Until next time, thank you for watching.